Alright everyone, we're back. We're playing some Deathslinger. I don't get to commentate these too often, but when I do, I definitely try to do my best to explain what's going through my mind as the player. And maybe you can learn something, and I can also learn something. So I can look over my gameplays and see where I went wrong, where I went right, and then try to improve as a killer. So, starting off the rip, I broke the door right next to that generator because later on it definitely comes in handy when they try to vault that window in that little glass, like, greenhouse type. I don't know what that is. Space, and then there's the greenhouse thing. We're going to check there first so you can go see the gen. We notice that he's like activating his ability, so we definitely want to get a hit on him so he can't use his charges. I notice he just zooms right past the pallet. He doesn't go to loop it, so I go to aim, kind of guess, see what he does. So you notice now that he's like the type to try to swerve around every time he sees me aiming. So we take that and we use that to our advantage. I just kind of stood there like, he's faking the window. I wasn't about to waste my time chasing him, so I went right back to go check on the generators back here again and go ahead and apply Eruption. Now my build here is Corrupt Intervention, Pain Resonance, Eruption, and Save the Best for Last. And if you know anything about Deathslinger, you know full well that Save the Best for Last is one of the best perks for him. It is kind of annoying when you have to go against a very confident Obsession that wants to be in your face. So I actually heard them on the gen, so we went after Fang, and this is where the wall break comes into play, because I just zoom right past that window. I go to aim to kind of see what she does. She goes around the rock. So we just go in for the M1, and we get the generator. So next, we hook them on a pain res hook, and I go to see that the gen close by has a lot of progress. So we know that it must have damaged a different generator. I think Eruption must have activated as well. I decided to kick the gen and go back to the hook because I knew they were going to instantly unhook, which is exactly what they did. We know Feng is running into a random area, so we're trying to cut them off, and she makes a mistake there. I get the hit, but she still had borrowed time. So we're going to go and keep going after her, kind of see what she does. She goes around the rock again, so we know that she's a creature of habit. She goes for the pallet again, and then she proceeds to try to camp it. I just kind of aimed again to see what she would do. She just kept running. And we go to aim again and try to get that quick shot. The problem with Deathslinger is that in the amount of time that it took to aim, she already turned the corner and hit, and then the wall covered the shot. So that is unfortunate. But we noticed that Kate went back to greet the generator, so we noticed that these survivors are definitely greeting the generators. So we want to try to keep patrolling around the little area here and keep an eye on them. We did apply Eruption, I think, on one generator, possibly. We did not, so we just knocked down Kate. I figured that we put her on the hook that was close by. We noticed that they're getting a lot of gens done. So we stayed by the hook until somebody showed up. About 2 to 3 of them actually showed up, which is perfect for me. So I go to try to hit Vittorio. Unfortunately, he's the Obsession. So I went to hit him, and then I noticed that the Fang was hiding, so I went to get at least one more stack back. We noticed that they vaulted in there, and I look over there and see Kate just kind of looking around. So I made sure to zoom in on that. But I ignored them because I heard the gen noise very loudly, so I went to go check into the middle area. So we go ahead and check. I thought she was behind the gen, or somewhere around me, but I didn't hear her, so then I heard the squeal there. So we go ahead and chase her right around the rock again. I noticed that she's not injured, so I was just going to go try to get the hit. If not, just go back and check on the gen. I actually got stuck on that rock there. So I gone ahead and just hit her and get under the stack and just run right back to that other generators. We noticed that he's the type to keep swerving, so I was going to try to chase him to see if I can get the easy down. I cannot. He makes that pallet, so we go after this one. And she was the closest and the most greedy, so we knocked her down. Got Eruption applied, and then we kick it again. I think she actually dropped her flashbang, so she just wasted her resource. So now it's regressing. We go ahead and pick up Feng, and we're going to put her on the Scourge across the map to get that 25% token used. So that's our second token used, which is good because we can try to hold back the gen as best we can. So now we notice that gen is at least 50%. Vittorio is once again hiding behind the thing, and I noticed him because of his shirt. If he wasn't using that shirt, Now here I baited the aim because he likes to swerve, so he was trying to FOV tech it, and that's exactly what I wanted him to do. So I made sure he would get close enough, and I would go for the swing. The problem is I lose tokens, so I was like, okay, I don't want to keep chasing him for too long. And I hear the gen. Let me go ahead and check on it again. It's still regressing. We go to check the other gen. It's still regressing. We notice somebody next to us, so we go right after her. We get this. I thought that hit, but then I just kind of ignored her. She's not injured, so we're not going to worry about her. We know that there's still a person on the hook, and we're going to go ahead and hit Kate again on the gen because we know that these survivors are extremely greedy. We go again and get the free shot so she can't get away, and we knock her straight to the ground. And then we go ahead and apply eruption again to the generator. We go ahead and pick her up. We look around. We're facing the wall in case they did have flashlights. And then we go straight toward the closest hook. Alrighty, so now we notice that they're coming back to the gen because it stopped regressing, so we go ahead and kick it again. And then we just kind of stay close by because we know they're on death hook and they definitely love to go for the save. So we go ahead and use my reload add-ons and get the speed reload, and we stay very close. We notice that multiple people are going for it. So I was going to go ahead and hit Vittorio again, make sure he stays injured. And then we go ahead and because of Kate's greed, she gets knocked again. So of course, now because of eruption, now we see who's on the gen. We notice Feng is also greeting the gen. So we go ahead and take our free M1 there and get our tokens back for save the best for last. She has to go mend, and then we go ahead and hit the gen again to make sure it continues to regress. So they will have to make a choice. We notice somebody hiding in the background, and we notice that Vittorio is trying to revive. So we're going to go ahead and knock Vittorio down as well. And because the eruption was still on cooldown, we didn't actually get the eruption hit. So we're going to go ahead and just go to the closest hook. We noticed that this clown is trying to blind for some reason, so I just took my free tokens. Unfortunately, I had to use a Scourge here, but I really needed to make sure somebody got out of the game as fast as possible and break this pallet as well. Which is unfortunate, but I think I've hooked about all three of them anyway, so having a token, I think, was only on Vittorio, which we just let the rest of them do whatever they wanted for just a second. We noticed that Vittorio was close, he got picked up, and we go after Vittorio next. We go and say he's running off to this area, so we try to make chase until for that, and if we could down him, we could put him on that hook. We noticed that he's the type to swerve, so we wasted time. I tried to go for the M1 there, but he did get that lucky stun. So we're going to go ahead and keep following to see where he goes. He's leading me toward the gens anyway. So we kind of stay close relatively. He thinks he's hiding somewhere, so we're definitely going to try to go for the shot. We did not get the shot. But in the path of that I'm going, that's where we see them. I thought I was going to make that, but I think it hit the hook, unfortunately. So we just go ahead and apply eruption to that. We're more than likely going to down somebody else pretty soon. And that's exactly what happens. She started hesitating, and that's exactly what I was able to use to my advantage. We got the gen to explode and lose 10%. And we're going to actually hook her next to that generator. We know Vittorio is still relatively close because he doesn't tend to leave. And then the gen is still regressing. Now this gen is not something that we need to worry about as much because it's not a part of our little 3 gen that we're creating. So it's not the greatest 3 gen, but it's still something. We're going to go ahead and check the main building again, and just to see where they go. We knock her down because I've been always going from the same doorway every time, so I decided to switch it up and go to a different doorway. We go ahead and apply eruption to that generator, and then she's saying no for some reason because she's a loser. So we're going to go ahead and pick up the loser and put her on a hook. Which fortunately we have the basement here, so I just went straight over. It was a bit of a stretch, but we still managed to get it, and then that's when they just finished unhooking them. And then we can go ahead and hook them in the basement. Alright, we go ahead and hook them. Make sure we hit them on the hook and tell them no, because they need to understand their place. Alright, so now we got our challenge for putting them in the basement, and now we go ahead and take a look around and kind of see where the gens are. We know the last person was hooked next to this generator, so we go to check that. We saw some movement there by the hook, so we know Vittorio's there, but we're ignoring him. He has full health. And he's also the obsession, so we want to go after the one who's injured and not the obsession. So we're going to go ahead and guess she pre-dropped. That was a smart move. She was able to not get hit by get down by the hook, which is perfectly fine. We go ahead and make her mend. But then she flew into a locker. I think that was the other Feng that went to hide in a locker to head on for some reason. So, which I think they're both using the same skin, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe they're in some kind of Swift. So we go ahead and break that pallet. It is a odd pallet, so we do definitely want to take that out. We notice that the gen got tapped, but it isn't being worked on, so we continue to go for chase. I did try to aim and get the shot there. I'm not too sure how it missed, but hey, we're going to keep it rolling, so we keep going. We also need to break this pallet because it is in our way. And then we go up the steps behind us, and we go ahead and check on the middle gen again, because they tend to really like going to that gen. We know one is behind us. We noticed that they actually did not mend and ran into a locker for some reason, so they fell down. I go ahead and knock them down, and the last one standing is Vittorio with full health. I figured he either I can hear him kind of around, or like all of the fangs around, so we're going to go ahead and just go for the insta-kill on our Feng here. With her dead, now to completely push the game to my side, and now we already know what time it is. To go ahead and find where Feng is, because we know that she just got picked up by Vittorio, and we have 8 stacks to save the best for last. So I just looked at the gen real quick. We noticed it's still regressing, so we're just going to go ahead and look around. We still hear them. We know Vittorio loves hiding in a corner for some reason, so we're going to go hit him. And I thought there was like a head-on play going on. So Feng decided to get back on the generators, so we're going to go ahead and go right after that gen. We noticed that she likes to kind of stand there for a while before she starts running, so we go ahead and take advantage of that. And we're going to go ahead and take her out. She falls, and then we can go ahead and take a look around and see if we hear Vittorio anywhere to try to get our 4K. I looked around for a while, and I did not find them, so I let them revive. We know that Feng is injured, and she makes a lot of noise, so we know where she's going to be at all times, pretty much. And there's no way she can probably heal herself. We know Vittorio's dropping down, so we're going to go ahead and follow him. He really thinks he knows what he's doing when he really doesn't. I went for the shot there. So, as you can probably guess, I'm still new to Deathslinger. But I definitely wanted to post this video maybe to like kind of have a learning experience for both myself and the viewer out there watching this, so that we can learn from my mistakes and kind of see how I can improve as a Slinger player, which I'm not like a Deathslinger main. I went for a drag shot, but the it's not like Apex or anything like that. I can't really move the scope too far, so it's a little bit different. So we all should make our shots, and that they may or may not hit. You know what I'm saying? You always have to try. So we're just kind of following him. He's kind of running into an area with no pallet regardless. We go ahead and moonwalk that for a bit there. I haven't actually played the game for a couple days, so this was a nice way to shake off the rust. So I noticed that there's no way to really hit him, so we're just going to let the wall break the chain and let him go ahead and mend. But yeah, I'm definitely new to Deathslinger. And once again, creature of habit, you just keep swerving. I just keep ADSing so he would do it, and then I kind of just knew he was going to go to the left side, so that's exactly what I took advantage of. We got on ahead and damaged that gen, and then we knocked down Feng right after. So guys, that is an I guess educational type of commentary. This is sort of me reviewing my own gameplay, and maybe you can learn something as well as I. If you liked the video, you know what I'm saying, hit that like button. Subscribe for more content like this, and leave a comment what you want to see next. So have a good one, guys.